we have quite possibly the greatest of all time, Snoop Dogg.
500?
500, man.
That's crazy. I like that number.
It's a great number.
Yeah, 100 times 5.
Yo, I got to tell you, I always tell this story about how your album, Doggy Style, like changed the trajectory of my life. Because when I was like 6 years old, my grandma, remember Columbia House used to send like 15 albums for like a penny?
Yes, sir.
So my grandma somehow got Doggy Style in the mail on tape.
Good shot. Shout out to grandma. Way to keep it gangsta.
But she had no, I don't think she meant to
I
get
don't
it.
give a fuck. She did the right thing. Good shit, granny. See, I'm a grandfather, so sometimes grandparents do shit that y'all don't understand.
So it was like obviously a cartoon cover.
So that's what she went for.
So she gave it to me. And I fucking, like, within, I don't know, 3 weeks, knew the whole album, like front to back, every skit by heart. I mean, literally, by the time my mom heard me listening to it and took it from me, it was too late. It was over with.
And your sister.
It was over with,
In your
bro.
DNA.
Yes.
Where'd it go, grandma? I gotta give grandma a shout out, man. That's G shit right there when your grandparents have a forward way of thinking and knowing that my grandson is gonna be somebody. I gotta put this in his DNA to make sure when he gets to the point where he's at, that it's all the way in him and not on him.
Yeah, I would say that album changed my life, man.
Thank you, bro.
I'm here a lot because of Doggy Style.
Thank you, bro. That album was it was a fun experience because being a young rapper and being so infatuated with Dr. Dre and NWA, being able to work with him on the Chronic and then to say, okay, it's my turn for my album. You mean already? Like right now? Like, yeah. Like, that was a amazing feeling because I had all my homies with me too. The people that I had started with, the people that, you know, watched me grow into the MC that I became. And then to have Dr. Dre perfect my craft with DOC and the whole team, it was a blessing.
Yo, I was curious, like were you the brainchild behind the skits? Because when we're talking about like using skits within an album, just memorable skits. I think about the beginning of G's and Hustlers with like the school teacher, and even like the bathtub intro, the murder was the case intro. Like, I feel like skits are a lost art form, and I can't think of more iconic skits than on Doggy Style.
That's a fact. Well, you got to understand, Dr. Dre was learning me. We had just finished the Chronic album. We just forged a friendship. We had been together for about a year, and we started like hanging together like every day, like just me and him. Like, we pulled away from everybody else. So he was learning the things that I loved and liked while he was crafting my album. And when we would be together, we would always either listen to old school music, or I would pop in a VCR of an old black, exploitation movie, and he would get that and get my spirit and say, okay, when we make your record, not only do I have to capture your sound, but I got to capture the essence of who you are. And that sometimes isn't in the music. It's in an inner sketch or a skit before the song or after the song. So we creatively came up with things that made sense. Like the shit with, nigga, your bitch chose me.
Yep.
I always loved that scene in the Mac. And then the bathtub scene is from Superfly, when he trying to get out and Eddie telling him to stay in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you getting all of these movies, scenes instilled into my album because I'm such a fan of that. And Dre, as a producer, captured every element of Snoop Dogg, which was funny, gangster, real, and raw.
It's crazy too because I think back to like the way that the Chronic, you were the first voice on the Chronic, but you weren't the first voice on Doggy Style.
No, Rage.
Lady of Rage just blacked the fuck out to kick that album off.
Right. So it was Rage and George Clinton was the first voices on my album. And Dr. Dre, he has a different way of thinking. He always know what he doing, and we never know what the fuck he doing. But when he finishes, the shit sounds amazing. He knew that he wanted Rage on the intro because Rage was supposed to be next up with her album.
Yeah.
So that's what that setup was about, hearing her voice first.
Kind of like you were next up with the Chronic, yeah.
That was his train of thought, but it didn't come to life, but that was his train of thought process.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy, man. I think I ran through the entire album last night for a couple of times. The new album, Missionary.
Right.
It's different, and I feel like it's like kind of like an evolved, I mean, because if you kind of go through the years of like, even like between Doggy Style to you guys getting back together for 2001, and obviously you guys have done music since then, you know. But there's some shit on this album, man. That's like the Tom Petty Jelly Roll record is crazy. Like talk about, because I saw you went out to Jelly Roll's Nashville show, which, you know, was super dope. Shout out to Jelly. But how did like the idea of bringing Jelly Roll onto the album come up?
Well, when we got the concept right, the beat, the hook, my verse, Dre didn't want me to come with a second verse, because I had a second verse on there. He was like, nah, we need to get somebody on it. So they start throwing names out, like all kind of names, big name artists, country artists, this style of artists. And the shit just didn't match. It didn't feel right. Then a motherfucker said Jelly Roll. And the whole room lit up and was like, that's the nigga, him. And so we reached out. And when we reached out, Dre was gonna send him the track. Jelly Roll was like, no, I want to pull up.
Yeah, for sure. He told me, yeah.
He came through. So it was, I wasn't even there, though. So that's how gangster it was. It was like, I had to hear it after the fact, and I didn't even meet him until I went to Nashville.
Oh, you didn't meet him until you went to...
first time meeting him.
So you got to meet Bunny, his wife, and the whole...
His wife, his whole team, his crew, his best friend, then his other best friend.
You met Scary Larry, the guy who loads the dabs?
This motherfucker had 5 best friends. Like, this how they came and introduced me. Hey, Snoop, I'm Jelly Roll's best friend. Look, shake my hand. Then as soon as he finished, hey, Snoop, I'm Jelly Roll's other best friend. Then the motherfucker, hey, Snoop Dogg, I'm Jelly Roll's real best friend. I'm the one that discovered all this shit. I said, I love Jelly Roll because he got the same kind of crew I got. My homies love me the same way.
Right.
If you ask 7 of my homies right now, they all gonna tell you, nigga, I'm his best friend.
Right.
Because I'm friends with everybody.
Yeah. Yo, I saw you talk about, like, I saw a quote, it was an article you did, but it essentially said that, you know, with this album, you kind of wanted to remind people that you're like one of the greatest of all time as an MC. Do you feel like, one, do you care about that conversation? And 2, do you feel like when that conversation happens, your name gets brought up enough?
I mean, I ain't got time to watch my highlights. I got a game to play tomorrow, Kev. So I can't worry about if I'm in the Sports Center top 10 or the hip hop top 10. I keep putting in work. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that's undeniable. You could check my resume. I came out in 92. And this is 2024, and I've been relevant ever since I came out the door.
Forever.
In music. Let's say that first. Music first, and then other things.
Culturally, musically.
Yes, but music first.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, every decade. And then the other things are my side quest. The things that I enjoy doing, that I love doing, that I want to inspire others to do by taking chances on myself. Like engaging and believing in me. Like, I don't have to have nobody confirm that I can do this or try this. I just do it and get it done, and then it becomes, you know, spectacular and famous, and people love it, and hopefully it inspires the next generation to try and do it. Because I used to be a shy kid that was afraid to make moves and jump out there and do things, and now I'm a leader, and I want to inspire the next man that may be shy or embarrassed to step up and become who he's supposed to be.